How's it going today, JK?
I'm going well, thank you, Mr. Pericini. How are you going?
I am good. Welcome back from
I know.
Hamburg. You have landed back in Australia. Everybody's back home. How was the flight?
It was good. It was long. It was good. It was good to get home. Um, yeah, it's crazy how there was such a lead up into the first major, and then here we are now. It's all over and done with.
So, today, guys, we're going to do the Hamburg Major in review. And then we're just going to talk about JK's race and kind of the weekend as a whole, everything that happened. JK, we got about 40 minutes with you here. So, let's do you want to dive into listener comments and questions first, or do you want to review your race first?
Let's go straight into reviewing my race, I reckon, Anthony,
Let's
and then
let's do so let's start. When men's Elite 15 happened on Friday in Hamburg, major number one of the season. Let's start, JK. What was your thoughts and like expectations, everything going into the race?
I think, like, to be completely honest, I was so excited. It had been 4 months since my last Hyrox race, which was Chicago. So I was super excited. I had that excited, nervous feeling, the whole week leading up to it. And to be frank, like, I was ready to qualify, and I was ready to punch my ticket to Stockholm. So like the day before and the day of, like, um, I was obviously really confident with my preparation over the last, I guess, 2 months specifically. Obviously, I did that marathon um, just after Worlds, but the last 2 months, I had faith and confidence in my fitness. Um, like, it's interesting because I just spoke to Anthony off air. I had all faith and confidence, being able to punch my ticket. But the fact of the matter is, I sit here now and can say that I did not do that. And to be honest, I take my hat off to the boys that obviously beat me on the day. Like, obviously, Alex Ronkovic was on another level. Dylan Scott was on another level, and Hide what sorry, Hide Wormsma
Where's my yeah.
Winsma was has honestly done so much work. I'm assuming in the off season to respectfully, like, earn those tickets. So um, kudos to those lads. I was obviously just a step behind. Um, Full stop. Period. I was just a step behind, and if you're listening to this, you know, and you've raced in a Hyrox or any race, like, you'll understand how hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? Because you can, like, and hindsight, like, an hour after a race, and then hindsight 24 hours after the race, you get to start understanding, or other things get brought up in your head about, oh, I did this, or I didn't do this, or I could have pushed harder there, or I could have done that. Um, and like, I'm happy with my race. I'm happy. I'm not satisfied, but I'm happy. I'm happy with the first race of the season. Could I have done things a little bit differently? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Um, but with the fact of the matter of doing a sub 55 on the first race of the season, um, I'm okay about that. I'm okay about that. There's, something inside me, of course, is sitting here back in Australia after the race. I can't say like pissed off. That's not the right terminology. But a little bit like, oh, God damn it, like I didn't get that qualification. Um, because I was going over there and I did not see myself coming back without it. Um, and that's the honest truth, guys. You know, the Hyrox Elite system is an interesting one. I'm very proud and I'm very proud to say that I've still got a number of chances to get that. So it's kind of like, well, that one's done and dusted, and we'll take away what we'll take away, and we'll leave the rest. And it's full guns blazing towards Melbourne now. Um, I think on a just quickly, Anthony, before obviously any questions or anything like I I said this in a post actually after the race, and it was something that I read over the summer, about if you're a true competitor and if you're a true sportsman, um, you should really view your competitors, your people that you race against and compete against, not as your enemies and your rivals, but as your partners to the dance. And you want you want your partners to be on their game, to be on their toes as much as you are, to get the most out of yourself. And I truly, honestly believe that and think like that. Um, and hey, like as I just said, um, buddy Alex danced the night away on Friday night. So did Dylan. So did Hitty. And I'm super proud of those lads because they obviously absolutely has have set the standard for the season, which is awesome. And I'm excited to have that perspective, right? Rather than rather than not being proud. And just
Yeah.
on that, like, just if you're listening to this and you're one of the other 14 Elite 15 athletes who were lucky enough to race on Friday night, hey, like, I loved it with the boys. Like, for some reason, there was a different vibe in the male locker room, post, like pre, during, and then or more so pre and then post, because hey, at the end of the day, we all want to absolutely smash each other out there. But kudos to all of us. I personally loved the whole weekend with the boys, and there was a great sense of like camaraderie, which I really enjoyed as well. So um, yeah, Anthony, I guess that's kind of my thoughts and opinions on my race. How about from your end as my
Let's,
coach, Anthony?
yeah, so that's a great idea. Let's go from this. I would ask you, let's break down the race, station to station type of stuff, how you felt. So prior to the race, you're feeling good?
Yeah, I was feeling great actually. I felt good in my warm up. ticked every box that I could have with respect to my nutrition and my hydration and my recovery. Felt good. Felt really good. Um, 3, 2, 1, the gun goes off, and um, Tim Vinish does his thing. Alex Ronkovic obviously leads the charge as well. And going into the ski erg, I was pretty confident where I was, fourth into the ski. And then, to be frank, my ski erg at 145 felt very smooth. Felt very smooth, in control. Got out on that second run, and quite frankly, I straight away I didn't feel um, the um, the bounce and the flow that I normally do after the ski erg if I've done everything according to plan. I didn't think that was anything wrong, but hitting the sleds then, you know, the the turf and the sleds to me were. And I spoke to Alex, spoke to Tim actually after the race. The turf and the sleds to us were were normal, hard. We all said, like, they were kind of like normal sleds, but like on the tougher side of normal sleds.
Would
You
you
know,
compare it to like Hong Kong last year or
I I think
Vegas?
Hong Kong and Vegas last year, and especially with the push. I felt, and I think the other boys felt, as if the push was um, tough, and then the pull was just like a normal sled. And like consequently, guys, I wasn't able to like push anywhere close to some of those top boys like Alex and Dylan to then obviously like be already 30 to 40 seconds down going into the pull. Which was fine in my eyes because, I'm I'm okay with that. Uh, to then obviously do my work in the back half. After the sleds, again, like my running just wasn't feeling on. It wasn't off, but I wasn't on with my running. Um, to then get into the burpees where I try to work my magic a little bit more to have a good first two lengths of the burpees to then um, not not necessarily finish as strong as I would like. And quite frankly, I pride myself in my burpees, and to give Dylan Scott credit, like Dylan Scott beat me by 19 seconds on the burpees, um, which is a which is a which is a long time, right? You know, that says something, right? And then obviously at this point going into like the rower, I think I was in seventh position jumping on the rower. Um, like understanding, all right, like, I've got some work to do. Um, Um, I jumping on that rower, kind of trying to settle myself was the most important thing. In my head, I was like umming and not umming and ahhing. I was thinking about, all right, if I really want this ticket, if I really want at least to um, be in contention at the Warballs, I really need to make my mark in the next two runs and two stations. And to give Hitty credit and the other lads that were in front of me, um, you know, they they were pushing, they were finishing strong, and I wasn't able to claw back as much time as I would have liked. I think I ended up um, going into the Warballs still in seventh, um, and I was um, just behind Rich Ryan. I think Tim came in maybe 10 Warballs in front of me. Um, and I think Hitty was a good solid 30. Um, but to give people some more perspective, my goal for a number of months or even at least a year now has always to do 100 Warballs unbroken. But not only that, right, which is more important to me, is just like to be known as the Warball guy or to be known to have really good Warballs. Um, and I'm proud of that. And my Warballs on the weekend because not only I got the second fastest Warble time, kudos to Alex who ended up beating my Warble. I think he got a 326, I got a 331. But I was able to um, I was able to gain three spots just on the Warbles. So I overtook Rich, Ryan, overtook Tim
Thomas.
Varnish and sorry, I've missed Thomas Verdick, who absolutely had a cracker. Absolutely, who had an amazing race. So to able to then cement a fourth spot um finish, which was um, like a great finish for me. Um,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. Even Faisal on like after the race, like he said something like Hyrox is an interesting race, especially if you're racing because you can race and race so well or race, like race okay up until the wall balls, and then the race really only starts there. Which I don't, I kind of disagree with. The race only starts there. But what he's saying there is like, hey, like you can do some damage still on the wall balls. Either way, in a positive way or a negative way, right? So,
Right.
like it just kind of like cemented it kind of like got me, thinking or more so, like understanding, hey, like the the race is not over until that 100th wobble. Um, and coming away with a 54:46, I think. Um, 20 seconds behind Hide. Yeah, I'm pleased but not satisfied, let's just say. Um, and yeah, there you have it.
So I mean, just you had a great race. I think you did another sub 55 time, which like that's just crazy. I think you have more times under 55:30 than anybody else in the world, and it's almost double. Like you have like seven of them. Um, and I think the next closest person has three, maybe four. Um, so it's just another piece of consistency for you.
Yeah.
Your
So
your
like
race,
just quickly, Anthony, and I'm just saying this to give our listeners more like kind of perspective, right? Like, yeah, like I'm proud of what you just said there, like having four or five times like within probably the first 10 overall times in the world or whatever. But like the way, like the feeling of a race to me is far more important than the result itself. And what that means is like I didn't feel myself out there. I'll just take you back. Like I didn't feel like I was in Glasgow. And that's probably my race that um I'm always going to try to replicate or try to feel again. And I'm sitting here, as I just said, I'm not dis well, yeah, sure, I am disappointed, but I'm not mad or sad. It's no, like due to the fact that I'm a competitor and I love to race, I love to win. Now that I feel, now that I understand what winning tastes like, and even not winning, but being on the podium tastes like, anything, anything different is just not acceptable. And I say that in such a harsh way, but it's reality to me, right?
Mhm.
It's because of the high standards that not only myself um that I have, but us together, Anthony, the high standards that we have together is only the reason why I'm sitting here um not, as I said, not um sad or mad, a little bit disappointed, but also eager to just get back into it.
I think you had a great race, and as always, like I am very proud of your comeback from being down and being able to like rip off the ending of that race to put yourself in a position to at least threaten for that podium. Uh, I think that's something that's really special and unique just about you too. But that you were able to come into the race and throw down just another one, even though you got hit early. And I think it speaks to a little bit that, hey, maybe let's go reevaluate your strategy. I think that there's a lot of athletes here that have two or three different ways that they can run the race. And it's who's going to have the best strategy and be able to adapt on the fly coming forward. Like, who's
Yeah,
going to be the one that can make the audible and change how they're racing mid race or put their foot down or be like, oh man, this person's on another level. Like, because I think your guys' fitness levels are all super close. And so there's not going to be a single person in there that can just like, I'm just going to go out fitness everybody else because you can't. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to run away from Tim in a head to head race when you guys are cranking it. You're not going to be able to be on the machines and come out 10 seconds ahead of Ronkovic and think that that's going to make him more tired that's going to make you like there's going to
yeah,
be different ways that every single male in this field has to run the race. Like if somebody applies pressure to you in a station or a run, can you absorb that and then reapply it back to them when they've exhausted that hit, right? So
correct. Yeah,
there needs to be some sort of adaptability to the race, and everybody's going to go in with a strategy, and the strategy that wins is the basically the last person to make a move.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Agreed. And like everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses as well, and not strengths and weaknesses, more so like everyone's got their own game plan. Um,
mhm.
Alex has his own game plan. Tim has his own game plan. I have my own game plan, and um, it's executing that to the best of our ability, but also, being okay with like adapting on the fly, as you were saying there, Anthony, as well, and making sure that you've got things in, you've got levers to pull on.
Yep,
You've got levers to pull on is what we're actually trying to do in training. That's actually the beauty of what we're trying to do. We're actually trying to get to a point in our fitness where we can call upon um, the ability to push this run harder because we can. We have the ability to push this sled a little bit harder because we know that we can, and we have faith in our fitness. We have faith in our legs afterwards, and so on and
yeah.
so forth. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add about your race? You want to talk about the other races that happened?
Yeah, let's talk about the other races.
All right. Well, before we go on to the other races, I want to talk about your doubles race. We'll contribute some time to that. So you and Jake Dearden, you haven't ran together since Houston last year, where you guys first qualified and put down, at the time, a world record in the men's doubles. You guys were unable to run together at Worlds. So you guys haven't raced since then together. You didn't plan much except for the day of the race, right? And you guys
Yep.
came into this race and you were sitting, out of screen time for most of it, usually in fourth to sixth place. And
Yep.
then just like you did the day before, you clawed back at the wall balls. Like you are right now the wall ball weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened, Anthony. And be honest, like, and Jake won't care if I say this about our preparation on the day, but Jake was feeling pretty embarrassed about the night before, and he used that word. Um, it was more so not him finishing in 15th position the night before. It was just the way of. And I had a great chat with him um, that on the Saturday morning before our doubles together, because the best thing about Hyrox and the best thing and how lucky we are to do this is that Hyrox and racing, as soon as you're done with your race, another race is around the corner. And for us, we had a very quick turnaround. We had exactly a 24-hour turnaround. He had the opportunity to help himself or not by turning the corner the way we ended up doing so on Saturday night. So the first thing that I want to say is I'm so proud of him, Jake, my partner in crime, to be able to perform the way he did on Saturday night. Um, we we decided to go into the race with a very similar game plan that we did in Houston all those months ago now. But if you've ran a Hyrox doubles and you're listening to this, you'll understand that I personally think the most important with a Hyrox doubles is to be okay with the plan not going to plan. And there was a few times in the race, quite frankly, that we quickly changed or we didn't change, and that wasn't the plan, right? Um, Jake will actually say this, like, I think you're right. I think we were in no, we were in fifth position coming into the rower and jumping on the rower. We're in fifth position. And I turned to my left and saw fourth and third. And I knew for a fact that fourth position, the team that was in fourth position had a 30-second penalty. And we were only like 10 seconds behind them. So Jake jumped on the rower, and once I gained a little bit more consciousness, and after I smashed my gel, actually, I ended up like just quickly telling Jake, you know, it's all about staying in the fight right now because we have no idea what can happen. We have no idea what can happen. We need to stay in it. We need to stay in it. And to me, that was just like me, like just wanting to let him know, wanting myself to know, hey, like anything can happen, especially with the penalties that we're getting dished out. Um, and quite frankly, as you just said, Anthony, the race unfolded where we got into the wall ball still in fifth position. We were only 15 seconds behind fourth, but they had a 30-second penalty. So if everything went well, we would claw back that and come fourth. But then all of a sudden, Jake started the wall balls and did the first 30. And within that first 30, I turned to my right and saw the third place team at the time. One, they started to get a couple of no reps, and not only that, I could tell they were starting to get frustrated with each other, and I could tell, okay, you know, there was something going on. Um, so in that moment, I just thought, hang on, like there's an opportunity here. Jake and I decided to switch at the 30 wobble mark. And quite frankly, I just thought to myself, well, like if there's any opportunity to get this third place position, I just had to go 70 unbroken. And not only that, but have in my mind that I need to do these fast. I need to double down on my cadence with these wobbles. And quite frankly, I was happy and I was able to do so. And we ended up crossing that line in third position, kind of coming out of nowhere. As you said, we didn't have any screen time for all that race, and we ended up placing third. So, like that's a credit to Jake to be able to come back with a vengeance and really like wipe the slate clean from Friday night and to finish the way we did. I'm really proud of him, and we cemented that spot for Stockholm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys are, I mean, you're in for men's doubles now, Stockholm. Um, I have no doubt you're going to get your solo men's invite here in the next major. So I mean, you're sitting pretty. That's great. Do you guys plan on racing doubles at every major, or is Jake going to all of them? Do you know that? Do you
Yeah,
want to say that?
yeah. At this stage we are. Yeah. So Jake's coming down to Melbourne, and our plan is to race in Melbourne together. And then it's one of these things, right? I think it's just taking one major at a time. So Melbourne Elite Doubles is on the cards for sure. And as you said, Anthony, that was only our second race together, so it's more about understanding if there's different strategies that we could utilize or have a plan with, and yeah, trying to make sure that we can kind of use these majors now and use these races more so as training runs and trying to get the most out of ourselves now. So yeah, so that's the plan of attack.
So, and you don't have to answer this, or I could delete it. He can't run Brisbane with you if you want to do men's doubles for the Australian regional or the sorry APAC regional. Would you have a different partner you'd run with there? And if you guys won, you'd skip the roll down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, and to be frank, I've spoken to um, I've spoken to an Australian potential partner. The thing about that, right, is all right, we need to get a time together at some point. So that would have to be sooner rather than later, I would like. So let's just say watch this space for that if we end up getting that done so we can race in the Brisbane
So
Brisbane Re Regional Championship. Is that what it's called?
yeah,
Brisbane
well, it's the APAC Regional
APAC Regional
Championship. Yeah.
Championship. Yeah.
So that's what's interesting to me, and I'm gonna put this out there because Lauren just said it earlier today that why don't I try for it? But you have
Yeah.
to have somebody from your own region, right, in order to race with. And it's not you don't have to be like top 40 on there because if you go look at the list right now, it's like, oh man, you got to be like sub 51 something to make it into these elite 15 men's doubles. But if you're talking about the regional, you just have to be top 15 in your region. And
in
for the
region. Yeah.
Australia regional, you just have to go get a time. I think for you guys right now, uh, I've done this on my own on the side. It's not up on their website right now, so you can't see it. But I was thinking the Australian regional, if you have a sub like 54, 53, 30, you'd probably be in the top 15 of the men's
I
doubles
think so.
for that
Yeah.
one right
Yeah.
now. Um, I think the US one is like you'd have to be around sub 53 to be in the top
Yep.
15, maybe 53, 30.
Yep.
Europe might be a little stricter even than that. I think it's might be like 52, 30 to 53 you'd have to have below. So
Yep.
you got to have those times. And so if I just want to put this out there because there might be people listening. If you're a high level athlete that wants to try to do that, we're not going to win anything, but you can ask JK. I'm a good supporting role. I try to
You're
keep up on the
definitely a
runs and
no.
can help a
You
little.
no. Give yourself a little bit more credit. You're definitely better than a supporting role, but
I'm
hey,
a
like
I'm a
if you're in America,
facilitator. I can get the best out of somebody else. That's what it is. Okay. So when JK and I ran, we ran like a 54. So if somebody, I'm a little bit fitter right now. So maybe if somebody wants to try to do a doubles together and
yep,
make the North American regional, you'd have to be a North American or an American athlete. You got to
yep,
be you got to be an American athlete, and you got to be. I want to actually try. So we'd have to be able to run like a 53 together.
yep, yep.
So I'd be
So
I'd be
reach
willing to
out,
do that. I want to
reach out.
now.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I'm excited about it since Lauren told me I should try. So
yeah. I think you should. I think you definitely should. Which means you'll probably have to race. Would that be like a Vegas race?
yeah, I mean it depends on what's available for somebody, but I'll probably be. I might be at Anaheim. I might be at. Well, I will be at Phoenix. I'll be at Vegas. So if you're going to be at any of those races, I think that's everything that's before DC though.
Will you be in Anaheim?
Well, it's the same weekend as Melbourne.
Oh, is that
And so
okay?
if Lauren's going over to Melbourne, if I don't go, I'll probably just drive over to LA.
Yep. Um, yeah, cool. So, um, do you want to quickly talk about the other
Yeah, let's
races
talk
from the
about the races.
weekend?
So the weekend as an overview, let's see the women's doubles, big win for our team here. The Lauren and Lauren just absolutely did fantastic. And then yeah, your two girls too, like smashed it as well. I mean, those two teams, like I think we kind of knew it was going to be those
Yeah,
two, and then we thought like Linda and Viola, if they had ran together, would probably be up there with them. But I think we kind of knew that they were going to break away, and they did. But it was just a spectacular race. I was just keeping with the doubles because we're on doubles. I think they had just a fantastic. Both teams like running was good. They looked strong in like most of the places, and I don't know if you've had any feedback from them yet, but I talked to my wife and I talked to Lauren Griffith earlier, and they're feeling good. So it's it's positive that that is just out of the way, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly.
qualified, they can relax a little bit and worry about the next race.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, at this stage, I know Joanna and Jess are going to be racing in Melbourne together. Is it is your both Laurens going to do the same?
Lauren Griffith is going to try to get back into the elite solo well now. Like the whole
Yep.
goal was like, hey, worry about doubles first and then go into singles, like just in case she just wanted to focus on one. So it's
Yep.
not a big deal if she doesn't go singles, but they'll be in both races.
Yep.
Um, and so
Awesome.
she'll do that. I think she has to go put some times in the pro courses in order to get back in there. And it's kind of short time, so we've already talked about like if it doesn't happen right now, then she's got time to go to other races and try to get those
Yeah.
times to put her back in the solo one. Okay. was maybe take a year off of solo and just do doubles because of her hip injury last year. Doubles is just more manageable.
Yeah.
Uh, but now that like they have breathing room, she was able to be like, okay, well, I might as well try the solos and see where I'm at,
Hmm.
and then just need to know if I should uh, attempt to go for it or just like let it lapse for this year and come back to it next year when there's
Yeah, right.
more time to get the races in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to know like oh sorry, just on that, like it was great to watch that race specifically like live actually. And obviously, well, more so at the start of the race, obviously until the burpees. It was a great back and forth race between the Laurens and then the Jays, Joanna and Jess. And then yeah, it was a fantastic spectacle. I'd like to know from your end if you're listening to this from the YouTube actual broadcasts, is it more of a spectacle watching the doubles, or is it more of a spectacle watching the individual singles race? I got a feeling people are going to gravitate to the doubles a lot,
I mean,
which is cool.
viewership numbers show the singles just on YouTube in terms of total amount of
Oh, is that
views.
right?
But I think it's pretty exciting. Like, hey, and I've said this
Yeah,
before. I think the race is the solo race. People like that's what brings people
sure.
into High Rocks. That's what they see as a solo race. I think the doubles and the relay, that's for the community. Like the
Yeah,
community gets really excited about about doubles and relay
double. Yeah,
because you get to see these athletes that like, man, they're so good. Like you see, you and Jake Dearden racing each other on the start line of the Elite 15, and then the next day they're teaming up. Like you get to
teaming out.
make
Yeah,
these
exactly.
pairings that are super fun.
Yeah,
Like pairings that the community wants to see. The community wants to see you know, they wanted to see Rich and Dylan team up. Like that
yeah,
was exciting.
yeah,
Now they get to maybe watch them in a major.
yeah.
Probably not until
Exactly.
Phoenix. That's when they would most likely decide whether it's Paleo or them. But it's exciting to see these pairings, and it's exciting to see things like maybe they aren't going to Worlds together, but it'd be exciting to see certain men and women that start consistently. Like how fast could they go if they went together? You know,
Yeah, correct.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's why I think the doubles is exciting for the community, but the solo is like the prestige that brings people into the sport. And like, you actually get to be like, wow, these are amazing athletes all in their own right.
Yeah. Agreed. Hey. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for Melbourne already.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. It's about time you would have to go.
Yeah.
You got to jump off. So if if you need to go, then we'll let you
I'll
go
have to scoot
and I
off.
can either finish up or
I'll have to scoot off, unfortunately.
yep.
Oh,
Whoa, we just went tumbling. If you're on
you've lost
YouTube,
me.
JK just threw the phone or computer or whatever he's on.
You've lost me. But if you want to finish it off with another guest or by yourself,
Yep. All right. Well, JK, thanks for joining us today. And I know, guys, we did get a lot of questions. We just wanted to put out a recap episode. So maybe we'll have a midweek episode or just next week we'll go over all these questions and comments we got because I got 7 of them sitting right here in front of me. So,
awesome. Yep. We'll try and get that done next week. All
all right. Thank you, JK. If you want to say
right.
goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Hybrid Coaching Podcast. If you'd like to reach out and get in contact with us, you can email the Hybrid Coaching Podcast at gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram either at the Hybrid Engine or at jk.jameskelly. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.